friends. Welcome to Race to Rise podcast, a place where we discuss bite-sized wisdom nuggets with easy-to-follow practices to live a better life. I am your host, Mital Patel, a parenting junkie, Ayurveda enthusiast, and an advocate of conscious living. Are you tired of your kids fighting more than ever? Then, my friend, you're not alone. If your kids are arguing more than ever, fighting more than ever about the toys, for sitting next to you, at dinner table, during playtime, then you are not alone. In the last year, I have had more of these situations at home than ever before. And this could be because of the kids' age gap. It could be because of the pandemic. It could be because we're all stuck and there is so much overwhelm and anxiety while we're at the same space. And I believe that, this is the case in so many households because for these conflicts, it's because kids are everywhere. They're dealing with the major world change, school change, house change, social life change. There's so much going on. There's so many changes happening in the same space, and we're just not able to deal with the uncertainty. And similarly, our kids are also dealing with a ton of uncertainty, and it's just so hard. And so today I really wanted to come up here and share a few of the strategies that I have tried and it's been working great. And I just wanted to come up here and share with you guys to ease up the frustration at home with kids because the siblings are the ones who are dealing with conflicts. And so I wanted to share some of the factors that can promote the sibling peace and, emotion regulations, the generosity, the flexibility, and just so that a child can be, can feel seen, heard, and loved for no matter what they do. So whenever I witness these sibling rivalries, the very first strategy that I like to work on is change my mindset. I always see that change happens, if I want to see the situation from a different perspective, and I don't know. So instead of looking at the fights as a way of, creating frustration and creating more conflicts, I look at it and thinking that why do they have to give me a hard time? I like to remind myself that it's not that they are giving me a hard time, it's that they are having hard time. So my kids are having hard time right now. They're not able to, regulate their emotions, and they're just not able to solve the problem, and they are just in the hot mess right now. And so when we're in the hot mess, we just can't think straight. And so that's what's happening with my kids. My kids are having a hard time. So that's the number one thing that I tell myself. I like to remind myself that it's not that my kids are giving me a hard time, but it's my kids are having a hard time. And this isn't anybody's fault. And so I'm not there to blame anyone. I'm just there to witness the conflict and make sure that my kids are safe and let them solve their problems, let them solve the conflict. Because as a parent, you really want your kids to learn the skill of, problem solving. And so I don't like to just go in between their conflicts unless it's dangerous and it's not safe, which most of the time has been happening with my toddler because he just raises his hands, or, he'll just throw the toys at the brother, or he'll just, anything. And so at that point, I know the safety is very important. And so I like to just get in between their fights, but then also I don't blame or I don't like to shame my kids, and rather I like to look at things from a different perspective. So that's when I go to my strategy number 2 is being curious. I always try to be curious about why they're doing what they're doing and why this is happening. So instead of saying, "What did you do?" I have been saying, "What happened?" And that way, this gives the space to both of my child to put their point across and to give them, their stories, because we all have different perspective. And so I give that, I'm no one to allow, but, I give them their space to open up and to share their part of it, because, and there's a conflict happening because they both are not on the same page. So I like to be curious. So first of all, being curious is about giving them a chance to put their story and not assuming that someone did something. So that's my number 2 strategy is, being curious. And then my third strategy is listening. I really like to listen to them and their stories without interrupting them or without judging them. That's just my way of providing them space so that they can open up and they can share. So again, I focus on being curious and listen to what they have to tell me and what they have to put on. Then my 4th strategy is I work on emotion regulation skills. It really is so important to acknowledge and validate their emotions so that they can, they feel heard, seen, and, mattered. So first of all, I always like to acknowledge, for example, in my household, whenever both the brothers are fighting, it's the little one who gets angry, and then he'll just say, "I'm mad, I'm angry, I want to hit you," things like that. And so that's why I have to come in between their conflicts. And so I like to acknowledge his emotions. And so I just say, "I see how angry you are. I heard you say that Krupam took one of your blocks while you were playing. Looks like you worked really hard and you're working really hard building that castle, and now you're short of your blocks, and it just makes sense that you're so angry right now. And it's completely okay to be mad, but I just won't let you hit Krupam anymore." So this way, I like to acknowledge and validate his emotions, and at the same time, just, have that loving boundary set that I won't let you hit. And then I like to, again, repeat in a simple words and make smaller sentences so he can understand. So I'll just say, "You're so mad, makes sense. You can feel this way. I won't let you hit your brother." It just makes it so easier for baby Anai, for my toddler to understand that it is okay to feel the way I'm feeling, but it is not okay for me to hurt someone. And it just works. And so I feel this is the most important strategy for working on emotional regulation, because you really want your child to feel loved, cared, seen, heard, regardless of what they do, regardless of their actions, because at the end of the day, you want them to feel, seen and heard, no matter what they do. And then my 5th strategy is having that one-on-one connection time with both of my child. So it's just me and baby and I, no phones, and not his brother or nobody else. It's just giving him undivided attention for 20 minutes, and then I'll do the same amount of time with my older son. And so I feel like giving your kids that one-on-one connection time will solidify the the strategies that you placed and, the acknowledging and then validating their emotions. And this actually helps even emotionally for them to settle. And also in this connection time, I like to utilize this time and teach the lesson that I really want, that, it is just not okay to hit your brother. No matter what, you can get mad as much as you want, but it's just not kind to hurt someone. Not just brother, but anyone. We just don't hurt anyone. So it gives me that also the teaching moment, that what's allowed and what's not allowed as a human being. So that's about it. I really want to remind you that it is so hard to manage sibling conflicts, and it feels stressful, and it is stressful. And I really want to say that you are doing the best you can, and just keep reminding yourself that I am doing the best I can. And then think about this list of strategies that are mentioned here, and see what resonates and see what works for you. Because the strategies that work for me might not work for you, but at least these are some of the things that I've tried and tested and has been working great. And so hope they work for you as well. Also, you don't have to try all the strategies at the same time. Just try one thing at a time and see how it lands for you and for your kids. And also remind your kids that how proud of them you are, and how amazing problem solvers they are. That's it for this week's episode of Race to Rise. Be sure to sign up to our email list at risewithmittal.com, and join us again next time for more wisdom about life, kids, and everything in between. I am Mittal Patel, wishing you happy raising and rising.